In 2019, a man named David packed his bags, drove 2 hours to JFK Airport, waited in line for 40 minutes, and got turned away at the gate. Not because of a canceled flight, not because he forgot his ticket, because his passport had exactly 5 months and 29 days of validity left. He needed 6 months, one single day short. He missed his flight, he lost his hotel booking, he lost $400 he never got back. Look, most people think passport mistakes mean showing up without a passport. Wrong. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn the exact rules that airlines and border agents actually use. Not what the travel blogs say, not what your friend told you. The real rules, the ones that quietly trap thousands of travelers every single year. Here's the thing, these rules are not obvious. They change by country, they change by airline, and they almost never send you a warning before it's too late. By the end of this video, you'll know how to check your passport the right way before any trip, so a missed flight because of something this simple never costs you money or ruins your plans again. Now, let's start with the rule that catches the most people first. The 6-month rule. Most countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel dates. Not 6 months from today, 6 months past the day you return home. That's what most people think. They are wrong. Some countries only require 3 months, some require 1 month, and a few require nothing beyond your return date. The rule changes depending on where you're going, and sometimes which airline you're flying with. In 2022, a woman named Sarah booked a trip from London to Thailand. Her passport was valid for 4 months past her return date. Thailand only requires 1 month. She was fine, but her connecting flight went through Dubai. The UAE requires 6 months. She was stopped before she even left the UK. But here is where it gets interesting. Sarah didn't make a passport mistake with Thailand. She made it with a country she wasn't even visiting, a layover. 45 minutes on the ground in Dubai cost her the entire trip. I know that sounds extreme, but stay with me. This is the part nobody talks about. Transit countries have their own rules, and most booking sites don't tell you this at checkout. Why does this matter for you? Because if you're planning a long-haul trip with a connection, ignoring the transit country's rules means you could be turned away before your trip even starts. Not at the destination, at the first gate. Always check every country your flight touches, not just the one you're going to. Now let's talk about the second biggest passport mistake people make: damaged passports. Most travelers think a passport is valid until the expiry date. Wrong. A border officer can reject your passport if the cover is torn, if pages are water damaged, if the photo page is bent or faded, or if there's any writing inside that wasn't put there by an official. Your 5-year-old drawing a smiley face on page 7 is not cute at customs. Honestly, this one surprises people every time. In 2021, a man named James was denied boarding in Singapore because his passport had a small water stain on the photo page. The stain didn't cover his face, it didn't cover his name, it was the size of a coin. Didn't matter. The officer said the document looked altered. James missed his flight home. Let me say that again because it is important. The rule isn't about how damaged it looks to you, it's about whether the officer thinks it looks tampered with. Why does this matter for you? Because if you're a frequent traveler, your passport takes a beating. Bags get wet, pages bend, and most people don't check the shape of their passport until they're already at the airport. Check it now, not the night before your flight. Now. Let's move to the third area, visa confusion. Many travelers think a visa and a passport are the same type of problem. They're not, but they are connected in a way most people miss. Some visas are tied to your passport number. If you renew your passport after getting a visa, that visa may no longer be valid. Not always, but sometimes. You might be thinking that's not a big deal. Fair point, but watch this. The US lets you travel with both your old and new passport if the visa is in the old one. You carry both, simple. But many other countries cancel the old visa the moment a new passport is issued. You have to apply again, and some visas take weeks. In 2023, a couple planned a honeymoon in Vietnam. They had applied for e-visas 6 weeks before the trip. 2 weeks before they left, their husband renewed his passport because his old one had only 3 months left. He thought he was being smart. His visa was now invalid. Vietnam does not transfer visas. He had to apply again. The process took 10 business days. They missed their trip. But here is where it gets interesting. He didn't make a mistake with the visa. He made a passport mistake. Renewing too close to a trip with an active visa is one of the most common errors that never shows up on any travel list. Why does this matter for you? Because if you're planning a trip that needs a visa, renewing your passport in that same window could erase all your prep work. You'd have to start the visa process over, and that costs time, money, and sometimes the whole trip. The simple fix: don't renew your passport within 90 days of a trip where you already have a visa. Let's talk about names, specifically name mix-ups. Your passport name must match your ticket name exactly. Most people know this. What they don't know is what actually counts as a mix-up. A missing middle name is usually fine. A name written without a joining mark is usually fine, but a nickname used instead of a legal name is not fine, and a maiden name used instead of a married name, or the other way around, is not fine. Here's the thing, airlines and border agents use different systems. An airline might let you board, but the country you're going to might not let you in, and then you're stuck. You've flown 10 hours only to be turned around at the border. In 2020, a traveler named Michelle flew from Toronto to Mexico City using a ticket booked under her married name. Her passport still showed her maiden name. She had changed it legally, but hadn't updated the passport yet. Mexico let her in, but on the return, the Canadian border flagged the mix-up and held her for 2 hours of questions. She got through, but not everyone does. Now let's cover one more passport mistake that gets almost no attention: blank pages. Some countries need a set number of blank pages in your passport for entry stamps or visas on arrival. The number varies. Israel needs 1 full blank page. South Africa used to need 2, and some officers still enforce it. But here is where it gets interesting. You can have a passport that's fully valid, undamaged, and perfectly named, and still be denied entry because you don't have enough empty pages left to use. People who travel often fill their passports fast, and they don't notice until a border agent flips through and shakes their head. The fix is simple. Count your blank pages before any trip. If you have fewer than 4, look into getting a passport with extra pages if your country allows it, or plan your renewal before the next big trip. Why does this matter for you? Because passport mistakes aren't always about forgetting something big. They're about missing small details that nobody explains until it's too late, and by then you've already lost money, time, and the trip you worked hard to plan. You don't need to be an expert traveler to avoid these. You just need to know where to look. So here's the full checklist before any trip. Check your passport's expiry date. Make sure it's valid for at least 6 months beyond your return date unless you've confirmed the exact rule for where you're going. Check every country your flight passes through. Transit rules are real and they will catch you off guard. Check the state of your passport. No stains, tears, or damage near the photo or data page. Check your name. Make sure your ticket matches your passport exactly. Check your visa status if you're renewing your passport close to a trip, and count your blank pages. 6 checks, 10 minutes of your time. That's all it takes to make sure a missed flight or a denied boarding never becomes your story. So after all of that, let's go back to David, the man at JFK in 2019. 2 hours of driving, 40 minutes in line, turned away for 1 single day. Here's what nobody told David, and what most travel guides still won't tell you clearly. The 6-month rule wasn't the country he was visiting. It was created by airlines to protect themselves from fines. If an airline flies you to a country and that country turns you off, the airline pays to fly you back. So airlines built their own rules, stricter than many governments, to avoid that cost. David wasn't failed by his own carelessness. He was failed by a system that never explained its own logic to him. That's the final truth about passport mistakes. Most of them aren't about being lazy or careless. They're about rules that live in policy papers nobody reads, enforced at moments when it's already too late to fix anything. Which means the real problem was never the passport. It was the silence around it. Every year, thousands of prepared, careful, well-meaning travelers lose trips, lose money, and lose days of their lives to rules they didn't know existed. Not because they were careless, because the information was never put in one place in plain words before they needed it. Now you have it. The next time you pick up your passport before a trip, you won't just check the expiry date. You'll think about the transit country, the blank pages, the visa timing, the name, the state of the cover. You'll think about all of it in 5 minutes before it costs you anything. That's what knowing the real passport mistakes gives you, not just a checklist, a kind of calm, the kind that comes from knowing exactly what to look for before anyone else in that airport line does. Check the passport, then go enjoy the trip.